Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Live 1,000 Lives. My name's Janaea, and today I'm doing a tag for you guys. So today's tag is going to be the world's worst book tag, and this was created by Peter Mon over at Peter Likes Books, who I love. He is hilarious, and I love him. He's great. So let's get started. Question number 1 is, what book or series would you force your enemy to read? I would honestly say Night Film by Marisha Pessl, because I hated that book with a passion. And I wasn't the only one. We read it for a book club, and everyone who read it either DNF'd it, didn't like it. I threw the book across the room, which I never do. It was horrible. Like, I liked the way it was written, if that makes sense. Like, the fact that there was like news articles and emails and stuff like that. I loved that. But overall, the ending killed me. I hated it. It was really hard to get into at first. It took me way too long to read. It took me like, I don't know. It took me a long time, and I didn't like it at all. So that one, if I have to be tortured, they can be tortured. Number 2 is, what book have you tried to read several times but haven't been able to finish? I'm going to say a series, because a couple of the books I've tried to read and haven't been able to finish any of them, and that would be The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. So that series, I tried reading the first Lord of the Rings book, could not finish it. I tried reading The Hobbit, could not finish it. I wanted to love that series so bad when I first tried to read it, because I was in love with the Lord of the Rings movie. It was like right after those came out, and I wanted to love it, and I could not even finish it. I was so bored, and I don't know, it makes me so sad because I really love the movies and I couldn't get into the books. So I don't know what's wrong with me. Number 3, what book has a close friend recommended to you that you ended up loving? Actually, I just talked about this not that long ago too. My best friend recommended Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. She's like, I think you're gonna love it. And I was like, I doubt it. I'm not a huge superhero or like people with powers, or I'm just not. I don't know why. Like, unless it's like a wizard or like something like that, I'm fine with that. But like people who like been born with like magical abilities, I just don't like that kind of stuff. There are a few exceptions, but normally I'm not into it. But I ended up really enjoying the series, so thank you, Chrissy, my bestie, for recommending that book series to me. Number 4, what book in the last year took you the longest to read because you're lazy? Okay, so last year, this book took me the longest to read, but I don't really think it's because I was lazy. I think it's because I didn't enjoy it, and this is a duology, and it took me way too long to read. It took me probably 2 months to read both of the books, and that's ridiculous. They are thicker books, but I read The Host, which is almost 700-800 page book, in like 4 days, and I read these in 2 months. And that is, I haven't talked about this yet on my channel, so please don't hate me. I will be going into like books that I don't like that everyone else likes, unpopular opinions. I will be doing that soon. But this is the Six of Crows duology. I absolutely hated Six of Crows, and everyone seems to love it, and I don't understand it at all. I don't get why people like it as much as they do. I feel like the size of the books put me off a little bit, and that's why it took me so long, but also I didn't enjoy it like at all. I thought I was going to because it sounded interesting, and at first I enjoyed it a little bit, but then things kept bothering me, like the things that that people on BookTube normally point out, like the abusive relationships or whatever. People seem to ignore in this book, and I don't understand it. But it was really hard for me to get through. The first one, I hated how the whole thing ended. I think that the author did some things that I don't understand. Why she would choose, I can't really go into it without giving stuff away, but why she would choose to do some of the things she did instead of going another route with it, I didn't understand and I didn't like. So that's my answer for that. Number 5. What is the fastest book you've read in the last 5 years because it was so damn good? I would have to say probably, this is a really hard one. I would have to say on audio, I listened to The Upside of Unrequited really, really fast because I loved it. I think I listened to it in like 2 days because it was just so good. What was the other one? I just read another one that was super, super good too, and I read it pretty fast. Oh, The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, I read pretty fast too. So I would say, and that I physically read. So I would say those two, audiobook and physical book, would be The Upside of Unrequited and The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Okay, number 6, clear your mind. Now this will be hard. I can't ever clear my mind. But anyway, what are the first 3 books that immediately come to my mind? Unplugged, Daughter of Siren Queen, and East by Edith Petui. That's my favorite book. It's not like my overall favorite anymore. Some of them have changed now. I think I'm gonna do a favorite books of all time video soon, so keep a lookout for that. Number 7, the last book you will admit to skimming. I don't skim. If I feel like I'm gonna skim, I DNF it. Because to me, I can't skim and understand what's going on because of my dyslexia. It ends up not making any sense to me. I've tried and it doesn't work. If I'm in that big of a hurry, or I am not enjoying a book well enough to actually read it, I will DNF it instead. That's just me. I don't skim. I DNF. So, number 8. What author, if they secretly dropped a new book tomorrow, would you get ASAP and read right away? Edith Petui, the person who wrote East, my favorite book. If she came out with another young adult novel, I would grab it in a heartbeat. She writes a lot of kids books, and she has 3 young adult novels. She has East. Oh man, I forgot what the other 2 were called. It's a duology, and I wish she would have continued with it because I loved the duology, and I felt like there could have been more, but she's not. I wish she would come out with more young adult or even new adult or adult books, but I think she's mainly a children's author. Number 9, favorite book or type of book to read in bed or by the pool. I tend to not read books by water because I don't want to ruin them. So if I'm gonna read by water, I have to be like way up away from the water, so that if someone jumps in and splashes me, my book doesn't get ruined. I'm really weird about that. So and I love to swim, so I'm normally in the water. But in bed, I will read anything. The only stuff I don't read is horror or scary stuff at night at all. I don't really read it at all, to be honest. I read like mysteries and thrillers, but I don't read horror, gory, that kind of stuff. I just don't. So I would say anything that I'm reading, I read in bed. And by the pool, whatever I'm reading. I don't have like a preference or anything. Number 10, and the last one, is what book would you give your best friend and force them to read? I would have to say, depending on the friend I'm giving it to, would be The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I have forced some friends to read East because I loved it so much. I would do The Daughter of a Pirate King and Siren Queen. I would do those because I think that they're really good. I try to get people to read the Fever series by Karen Marie Moning. I actually had a friend who read it and liked it. So I guess those would be it for now. But anyway, that is my world's worst book tag, which I actually really like those questions, so I don't know why it's the worst. I think it's because you're supposed to just kind of be lazy about it and just come up with the books off the top of your head. You're not supposed to hold the books up. You're not supposed to be wearing makeup. I was already filming a video before this, so I have my lipstick on. I don't do other makeup. I don't know if you guys have noticed. I don't really do eyeshadow a lot or foundation or anything like that. I just don't. I do lipstick and that's about it. But anyway, I will leave Peter's link down below with the original video for you guys. Go check him out, subscribe, he's amazing. I will leave the questions down below for you as well. And remember guys, a reader lives 1,000 lives and so can you. So keep on reading. Talk to you later. Have a great day. Bye.